most amazing top 10ers, how are you doing today? I hope you are feeling fantastic. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and before we get into this video, I just want to remind you that we have a new channel called Life's Biggest Questions, where we make educational videos talking about hotly debated topics. For example, we talk about topics such as, is God real and are the Illuminati real? So if you like our work at Top 10 but want something a bit different, then please head on over to the other channel after this video, and I'll see you there. Okay, so the top 10 people who celebrated too early. Me. Number 10, we have Taylor Swift. As the results for the Grammy Award of Album of the Year were read out in the 2014 ceremony, there was a split second when she thought that she had won. As award presenter Alicia Keys was reading out the winner, Taylor heard the first letter of the winning Daft Punk album, Random Access Memories, and was about to go out full on gleeful until she and her team realised that it actually wasn't theirs to be happy about. I think that it's her dad sat next to her, and his reaction is the most heartbreaking. He's like, oh. Good job that she absolutely smashed it at the 2016 Grammys to make up for it. In at number 9, we have the makers of this sign. Like, oh dear. Football team Manchester United had a sign declaring them winners of the 2011 to 2012 Premier League, when actually their fierce rivals Manchester City won instead. Awkward. Speaking of awkward, we have this marathon runner who celebrated too soon in at number 8. Just when it looked like American runner Ben Payne was about to win a 10-kilometer race, he raised his arms in a gleeful excitement, but unfortunately, his rival smashed through the banner first, winning the race by a split second. In the 2015 4th of July 10-kilometer race at the AJC Peachtree Road Race in Atlanta, Ben Payne celebrated before crossing the finish line, unaware that British Olympian Scott Oval was about to beat him. Awkward. Oval later tweeted some absolute sass, saying he was pleased to take the win at Peachtree, always run through the line. In at number 7, we have the Cincinnati basketball team. This footage is crazy. In an AAC tournament quarterfinal game in March 2016, Cincinnati and UConn were level on points. Then, Cincinnati scored, gaining them 3 more points with 0.8 seconds on the clock. Cincinnati started to celebrate. They thought that they had won. But then, there was a miraculous ball in the net from UConn's Jalen Adams, who shot from beyond half court and made it. This forced overtime, and eventually UConn won 104-97. Amazing. In at number 6, we have this terrible goalie. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this doesn't seem to be any premium level of football, which would explain why it is so awful to watch. One team takes a penalty shot and the goalie barely deflects it, but he does. Celebrating his ability to just about save the goal, he turns away and touches his heart. But behind him, the ball rolls into the net. Awkward. In at number 5, we have the Chicago Tribune. Infamous case of a major two-scene celebration was the Chicago Tribune's printed headline on the 3rd of November in 1948. Why was that a special date, and what was the headline? Well, it was the day following the election night, and the headline was Dewey beats Truman, which, he didn't. The once famously Republican-leaning paper got it wrong, much to President Truman's amusement, who was photographed holding up the paper with the incorrect headline. He was also quoted saying, "That's not how I heard it." Sass. Key rule to journalism: don't print something unless you are 100% sure of the facts. Another person who jumped the gun politically speaking was Katy Perry, who celebrated a Democrat win way too soon, and this is coming in at number 4. Well, this is awkward. In October 2015, a whole year before the election, Katy Perry bought this POTUS necklace for Hillary Clinton. She reposted a picture of the golden piece of jewelry on her Instagram account. She wrote the caption, "My birthday gift to fellow Scorpio Hillary." Says it all. Embarrassing, sure, but nowhere near as bad as our next early celebrator. In at number 3, we have the owner of this tattoo. You may remember the 48th Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos played the Seattle Seahawks, with the Broncos' favourite to win. One fan was so sure that they would, that they had the Broncos' 48th Super Bowl champions tattooed on their back. Not for everybody, sure, but for some this would be quite the talking point. Only problem is, The Broncos actually didn't win. They lost quite spectacularly 43-8, so yeah. Never mind, I guess it could be worse. You could be going to jail like our early celebrator at number 2. I am of course talking about the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Cheater, Charles Ingram. Recorded on the 9th and 10th of September in 2001 at Elstree Studios in London, Charles Ingram and his wife, with a carefully constructed coughing scheme, cheated their way to winning £1 million on the UK TV show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This episode never aired, but the footage of Ingram's rise to the jackpot has since been released. You can see him celebrating heavily with host Chris Tarrant as he answers the £1 million question correctly. His acting skills are actually pretty on point, as he seems genuinely thrilled to have won the prize, even though he cheated his way there. He was all smiles, thinking he got away with it, but unfortunately for him, he did not. Just a week later, he got a phone call from the show telling him that he was under investigation. Further to that, he was later given an 18-month suspended prison sentence. Okay, our number 1 is awkward and hilarious at the same time, and it makes me feel just horrible to watch. I am of course talking about the 2015 Miss Universe runner-up, Ariadna Gutierrez. This is actually devastating. Host of Miss Universe, Steve Harvey, read the results card wrong and announced the wrong winner. Instead of declaring intended winner Miss Philippines Pia Alonso Wurtzbach as Miss Universe, he announced first runner-up Miss Colombia. Miss Colombia then celebrates for 2 whole minutes, raising her country's flag, putting on the Miss Universe sash, and receiving the crown. She's smiling, she's waving, she's having a ball. Unfortunately, Steve Harvey sheepishly walks back onto the stage and says he needs to apologize. Miss Colombia still has no idea what's happening and thinks that it's all a big joke. That is until he's declaring that actually Miss Philippines is the winner, and she starts walking forward, coming to take her crown. Uh-oh, now she's just stood there for way too long, and someone needs to take her crown and sash off, and then she begins to cry. Oh! What a horrible thing to have happen. Steve is all like, don't hold it against the ladies, and literally no one is. They're all just thinking Steve is an absolute twazzock. This is one of the biggest balls up on live TV ever. So that was the top 10 people who celebrated too early. We've had laughter, we've had tears, and we've even had a prison sentence. What more could you possibly want, except perhaps a part 2? Let me know if you want a part 2 in the comment section down below. Also let me know your favourite early celebration. I'm Rebecca Felgate, this has been Most Amazing Top 10. If you liked this video and found it kinda funny, why not give us a good thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and of course subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more fantastic lists coming at you twice daily.